بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين لكم دينكم ولي دين.
Bismillah, salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listeners. And I for sure have a sense of urgency in these tail end, this last days of Ramadan. And I was just thinking for myself, suddenly you have a sense of urgency to finish reading the Quran, to do this and to do that and get your ibadat all in, your ducks in a row and get these things done. But the beautiful thing is, this is the attitude we really need to have 12 months a year. So yes, this is a beautiful month of training that we've done it, and we can be reading and connecting with the Quran as best as we can. And I'm just going to go through the short surah. But if we can keep this sense of urgency throughout the year. Yes, we will have Eid and then we will chill. And I love this saying that, Shaitan never goes off duty. Yes, he might have been locked up this month. But then, like as a joke goes, somebody said, yeah, but he got locked up in our house, unfortunately. No, so astaghfirullah, may that not be so for any of us. But the fact is that he never takes a break. He doesn't chill now that I've derailed them enough. Now let me take a pause. He doesn't have a weekend off. He doesn't have anything. Yet we, especially after Ramadan with Eid, and God forbid that may we not do that, that we engage in things which are not in keeping with the adab of what our deen talks about when we celebrate our Eid. So that in place also, just up and just use this training time we've had, this whole month of inspiration, of not going now on battery mode. Keep it plugged in. Keep our spirit charged. And in this Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun that we heard on the recitation is, you see, now having come this far in the Quran and everything, in the Musaf order, even though this is Makki Surah, it's like there comes a time when you can tell that now the unbelievers, you can tell them, they can take a hike. You and us have nothing in common anymore. And this is situated where it is as a surah, is that now after this year, because this is after Fatah Makkah when it happened, and they were told they can't be in Makkah also. This happened later. But already here is a precursor of telling them, you, Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, and it's calling them by their name. It's calling them, this is what it's not just people who do kufr, it's you have been now labeled the kuffar. And you can do, I don't worship what you worship, you don't worship what I worship, and then you don't worship what I do, I will not worship what you worship, and you won't worship what I worship. So lakum dinukum faliyadin. You go your way, we go our way. There's a beautiful passage also in Surah Anam which talks about, talk to people nicely, kindly, and then politely come away. You can say salams to people. We have it in our fasting. If somebody starts wanting to pick a fight with you, you say, no, you're allowed to say, no, I'm fasting. I'm not going to argue back with you. And what is it? Taqwa, it enables us to stay on track or not to get derailed into an argument. And so this surah is very much about how we, maybe now with Eid coming up and after, that we are still able to tell, yes, we had a fasting. Now we're not going to join you into the pub. We're not going to join you into other things that now, never mind, it was a month of fasting. So there we retreated, but now we can join the mainstream again in doing all the stuff that you guys do and join you 100% in those things. No, it's a very clear, Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, your ways are different, our ways are different. You lakum dinakum waliya din. You do your stuff, we do our stuff, and there isn't a. And this is the beauty that we have a fine, we talk about, we don't have any distinctions of color, race, this and that, none of, the only thing we do is the furqan, the criteria, the distinction is between taqwa, being a Muslim, being on Iman, and not being on Iman. That is the way. And I love the saying which says there's no success in life or anything if there's no iman. So iman is the defining factor. La'allakum tattaqun is what Ramadan is about, what fasting is about, that we may remember and we may be people of taqwa. And that is being a 24/7 awareness of whatever we do. So even if we're out of Ramadan, hopefully this battery charging in a month has been enough that for the rest of the year too, we will try to maintain some level of taqwa. It will go down, it will go up, but use whatever inspirational moments we have come to, whether you've learned one little more surah, you've learned 6 more ayahs of anything. Those are the kind of things that you need to be looking at. And link it back when you're doing these surahs. Is where else in the Quran did you see this fine distinction between the two people? Of the kuffar, the Muslims and the non. I love the fact that it says after Ayat al-Kursi, which we read, it says, لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى. It's لا إكراه في الدين, there's no compulsion in deen, but this ayah came when you've been told enough of the faith. Now, even now, if you can't come to go your way. Be lakum deenukum waliya deen. So that, and then there's another about how for us also not to think that now we are, we're on the right track, and so now that's it, and it's all hunky-dory, and God forbid, somebody else takes on our sins, and so we don't have to worry because we believe in the baptism, and so on and so forth. No, that's not what it is. Ours is Hasibta, I can't quote it in Arabic right now, but of Surah Ankabut, do you think that you're just going to enter, submit, and you're not going to be tested? Well, sure, you're going to be tested. There was another time early on in Surah Baqarah when they were suffering so badly, the Muslims, because they were such a minority, and the poor Muslims were being oppressed much more, which Arayt al-Lazi epitomizes, the surah we did previously, about not being good. So they did come to Rasulullah and asked, they said, Ya Allah, until when are we going to have to suffer? Aren't we on the right track? Aren't we the right religion? Then why are we the ones suffering? So then the ayah came down. Hello, what makes you think weren't the people before you examined, oppressed, and weren't they tested? And then we have this in Surah Buruj, those people who were just sending people into the fire, a whole trench they made of fire and throwing these people in just because they believed. So thank God, all these, lakum deenukum waliya deen, let's just be so grateful that we've been given our faith, we've been given our faith, and we know this is the final messenger, so we are not in any doubt of there's another messenger coming. Maybe that guru sounds better, maybe he is a prophet. No, we have it given so clearly that La abudu ma ta'budun wala antum abiduna ma abudu wala ana abidum ma abadtum. And I will not worship what you worship, and nor will you. And the fact that it's reiterated twice, you can take it just as a straightforward emphasis, and then there is lots of tafsir which talks about that is talking of that phase of your life, this is talking of that phase of your life, and many other things that surface. Should you wish to go, not that should you wish to go, I strongly recommend you go and listen and read up on the tafsirs of these beautiful, beautiful surahs. They're tiny, they're short, they need to be memorized, and then you try and see how do you memorize it, because it's the same refrain that comes up again, but how do you memorize it? So make a point to try and memorize it, and that's where we take it from here. So inshallah, we will just have a few more surahs to go, but use these opportunities to just connect with the Quran as best as you can. This is the month of Ramadan, is the month of the Quran, so please, I strongly urge you to do that. And may I be the first beneficiary of whatever connection I can have with the Quran. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.